Okay, so that's we show you from the Cloud9 how you will read a text file from the driver program. So our driver program is chapter 5, example 10. So that's why the text file I want to read, the list of number.txt, they are in the same folder. So that's why here they can read and process the file. But then if I give them something I don't have, then they will say, you see the arrow to open the file. So we need to be careful. Actually, this text file, after you download to your computer from Canvas, according to which IDE you use, you need to save them in different location. So here I show you about the Cloud9. They will be in the same location with the source file. So then for the Visual Studio, so the working directory should be under the project folder. So then they are at the same location as your source file. So the code block, you will see the same thing. They are under your project folder, then will be the same location as your source file. So one thing is, when we're using the file for input or output for this course, the file are expected to under the working directory. So the working directory actually depends on which IDE you use. So this class, I don't allow the student to give me the full file path. Because if you give me the full file path, I cannot run your program. Because my computer setup is different from your computer setup. So instead, you only give them the file name. Okay, so we only have the file name only. So they were looking for the file for the working directory. So then for the Visual Studio and the code block, they are at the same location as your project folder. For the Xcode on Mac, that will be a little different. You can using the right click from the project to show in Finder. So then they will display the working directory. So then this one is a little complicated. So that's why let me show you from the Xcode how they work that. So from the Xcode, you see here is my file. I have the chapter 5, example 10. So then you see when I try to run this program, I enter the list of file.txt file. You see they give me the arrow. When you give me the arrow, that's me. Under your working directory, I don't find this file. So in the Xcode where you save the txt file, you need to see here, under your icon, execution icon, you need to right click your mouse. Then did you see show in Finder? So this show in Finder, when you click on that, they will bring you to the location your working directory is. So that's why you see the working directory actually is pretty complicated. So that's why the easier way from Xcode, you just using your this icon, right click to show in Finder. So then they will bring you to the location, right? So you see in this location, I have many text files from other class, but I don't have the list of numbers. The list of numbers actually earlier I saved in the download. So that's why here, after you download from the Canvas, so then you see here, then I have my list of numbers. So then you just drag this file to the location. So now after you drag the file to the correct location on your Xcode, so you can run again. So then they ask me again for the list of numbers.txt. So then they can find the file, then they can process. Okay, so this example actually is we show you how will you process the input file. So then if you have any question, write it down. Then actually here, I want you to later I told you what you need to do. So I want you to post the video. So actually earlier we told you we have the while loop to process the text file, right? So now actually I want you to modify from the chapter 5 example 10 I just showed you. Since you read the number one by one, right? In that while loop, how you find the how many number of the number? You see I have 100, 200. So then how many number, total how many numbers for all the number you read? And also I want to display the sum of all the number read from the text file. So then your output will still have the 100, 200 to 700. But afterward, I want you to tell me total how many number you read. And the total for the all number is what? So how you will do that? Of course, I will give you the answer. But the first thing, I want you to think about that. So now you post the video to see how you will do that. After you're done, you can continue the video to compare my solution. So now post the video. After you finish, did you check your result the same as me? So now I can show you how you will update from your file. So right, so earlier we said I want you to show me in the while loop how many number you read, right? So right, so that's why we need to have what? We need to have a count. So this count start from 0 because I don't have any number yet. Then since I want the total, right? So right, I need to add, right? So that's why sum equal to 0. Okay, so after we have these two values, so where should I accumulate these two values? Right, that's in the while loop. Okay, so in the while loop, actually every time I read one number, my count plus plus. Then after I read a number, I want to add this number into my sum. So that is numbers. So we need to do that in the while loop. So then we need to display, right? So right. So after we process, we just need to display. Okay, so we display, we see out. Okay, so there are total, how many number count? Okay, numbers. Okay, so then the total. So the total of all the numbers is on the sum. Okay, right. So then you see here, you accumulate and add to the sum in the while loop. Then we display outside. So then when we run the program again, right, so you will see here, okay, so where the C out, I write wrong. Okay, so that's in line 37. Okay, so here, my end of line, the semicolon. Okay, so we run again. Okay, so we add the number list of numbers .txt. Okay, so then after we done, you see they give us the numbers display. So total we have 7 numbers. So the total of all numbers is this one. Okay, so that's your peer exercise. Please make sure you will do that. So after we know how to read from the file, right? So I want to quickly also show you how we will write the information to the file. So this one, actually, we will continue to use the peer exercise, the peer talk example. So remember, actually, at the end, we say there are 7 numbers. The total all numbers is this. So this one, actually, I already give you the solution that's in the chapter 5, example 10.out file. So when you open this file, I will show you how we will write to the file. So when we write to the file, that's just create this file. We create one output file object. So then before you try to write to the file, you just open the file name. So that's why this file name actually you can specify. So then because that's the write to the file, any file name you specify, they will create that file under that working directory. So then how you will write to the file, remember earlier we say, OF string work exactly just like cout. So you do the output file object name. So just like cout earlier, we say we do cout, there are how many numbers. So the total number is, you see before we do cout. So here we just change to the output file object. So then they will work exactly like that. So now we see here, you download the chapter 5, example 10, we see what happened. So after you open the chapter 5 example 10.output.cpp file, you will see we include the same library. But one thing is, besides we have the if string input file object, I create another one we call the of string. That's of string object. With the object name is output file. So then here actually we don't need the file name again, because this example I want to show you, I can just open the file using the file name put in the string. So that's why earlier in the chapter 5 example 10, we asked the user to give us the file name. So now I don't need user give me the file name. I just open the file. I specify the name here. So later they will open the file. The same file name is list of numbers.txt. So you will see there exactly will read 100, 200 to 700. Then the same thing, remember we have the number to receive the value. We have the count to accumulate how many numbers. So then we have the total sum. So I initialize to 0. So you will see the same thing. So this input file, we need to check if we open correctly. Then remember in the while loop, we do the cout the number to the console. So we accumulate the sum to the number to the sum. Then we accumulate total how many number for now. So after we done, you see earlier we say I want you to display in the peer talk. I want you to display in the console, right? So here is console. But now in the chapter 5 example 10, I want you to write to the file. So that's why earlier we create this, we declare this output file object. So after we process this sum and the count, so after we finish, so that's write to the file. So I declared the output file object, but I didn't open the file yet. So that's why I specify the file name is chapter 5 example.out file. So then afterward they will create this file. So then I want to write how many numbers and the total information. So previous example we put in the cout, but now I put in the output file. So then you see I just want to compare to show you. Before we using the console output, right? Okay, so underneath here is console output. So I still have the console output here. But also I say I want to write to the file. So that's why I specify the chapter 5 underscore example.out file. So then you see I will write the information. So now this example, I don't need the user input. So that's why here we can just write to run this program. So after you run this program, you will see here, actually, I don't need any user input. I just display what I read from the text file. Then I cout the total 7 number and the sum. That's from here. So where is my output file? So then you just see you can go to your working directory. Okay. Earlier, that's our chapter 5 example 10.out. And here is our list of number. So then after I run this program, they will create chapter 5 example.out file. So then we will see here, right? See, did you see this one? Yeah, so then you will create this text file. So whenever we try to write to a text file, they will just create this text file. If this text file already exists there, they will just overwrite the content for the text file. So you see, after I open this text file, they show you there are total 7 number. Then the total of all number is 2800. So that's how we will do the read from the file and the write to the file.